Hi, I'm Ashley Adamson, and we're going to talk about loneliness. This is something that we all kind of deal with, but perhaps as a trans person, you may deal with it a little bit more. You know what I mean? There's a lot more things and ways in which you can become more lonely. For example, your dysphoria can make you depressed or make you unsociable. You can have more anxiety around your dysphoria, and so that makes it harder to be socialized. People may abandon you because you are transgender and now they don't know what to do with that. Or you could feel like me, like almost undateable at times because of the fact that you're transgender and everyone perceives you in a way that is different and distances you. And then that just makes things worse, right? Like being trans is life on hard mode. Wouldn't you agree? And isn't that cool that we are the ones that are living on hard mode? Like we are the strong ones. But I mean, sometimes I just want to give up, just want to just kind of lay down and just forget about it and just go, okay, hi, can I just be a person? So we'll touch on loneliness. This is definitely a deeper topic. I'm going to try to keep it short, but on this channel, we dive really deep into this exploration. So, if you're looking for a dopamine fix, that's probably not this video, but that's okay. Do me a favor and give a like and watch this later when you're feeling like you want to dig in with a cup of tea or something like that. But yeah, let's explore loneliness a bit, shall we? So, where do I begin? I'll kind of start with I'll start with my story, which is that right now I'm kind of feeling lonely. And I felt lonely earlier this year as, lockdown was happening and COVID and all of that. But I'm still feeling lonely, albeit for different reasons this time. I interact with people, I see people, but I do not feel like I relate. I don't feel like I connect. I don't feel like I have my tribe around me. It feels hard to find peers. It feels hard to find the people that I see eye to eye with. Like, how are you with finding your friends and finding your tribe? Like, do you have people around you that you feel like you see eye to eye with or that are on your level? I feel a little bit just kind of on an island. I'm a very multifaceted, highly developed, multidimensional person, and there are people out there like me, I know they are, but running into them, finding time to make those kinds of friends, knowing who they are, speaking to them, all of that is actually super difficult. And I feel lonely. I do. I have people that I talk to, and that doesn't, I have friends that I hang out with, and I still don't feel like there's anyone who's filling that loneliness hole in my heart. And I don't mean romantically, I just mean friendship-wise, as well as romantically, really. Where are you on that? Where are you on your journey? How are you kind of going through that? How are you solving it? What's helping you work through it? These are sort of the questions that I'm asking myself right now. And one of the things that has come up a lot is just feeling like there's this deep, hard marble in my heart. That's just the marble orb of loneliness. And it just sits there, feels impenetrable, and it just sinks into my being. It hurts. It makes me just want to sink into the bed and just kind of disappear. Feeling like there's no one out there for me, that feeling like, those are not real thoughts. I should also say, those are manifestations of ways of trying to figure out what this feeling is. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but have you ever had this thing where you've had just this feeling, this emotional sense, and then you started to attach thoughts and beliefs and ideas to why you're experiencing these feelings? And then by doing that, those feelings become alive and real, and then you believe that these thoughts and feelings are real because you've actualized them, but not because they're actually real. I don't know if that makes sense. I was talking to a guy the other day, and he was like, oh yeah, I get that all the time from my girlfriend. And I thought, yeah, you probably do. Estrogen can do those kinds of things. It can really just give you emotional feelings without anything to attach it to. And then as soon as something breaks or something you find can be that reason, you kind of attach those feelings that feel like they needed to be attached to something. And then you legitimize the thought. You know, it's a weird process to go through, and it's a weird thing that us humans do. But nonetheless, I feel lonely, but I can't really attach any reason to why I'm feeling this way, except that there's no one in my heart and there's no one that I feel sees me. I feel that, you know, I just said that and that kind of like hurt. And I think that's probably what I'm looking for, and where I feel empty. I feel like I'm not being seen. You see me here. We spend a lot of time talking, but this is also just one element of me. And there are many elements of me, and trying to wrap those into something that is consumable is difficult. And being recognized and being seen is super difficult, because you need a person that can see across all of these planes. Like, I have shaman past lives, and I also have kung fu past lives, and I teach that. So I need someone who understands on a very deep spiritual level their own path with past lives and that experience. And then I'm a person of transgender experience, so I've gone super, super deep in who I am as a person, and really come face to face with the unknown and realized who I really am when I face the ego death, when I face my own death of the possibility of who I think I am. Have you been there yet? Where are you on that journey to facing your own ego death? It's a pretty powerful thing, and I feel like the transition is sort of like the soft way of doing it in a way, because you kind of chip away at the problem bit by bit. But if you go on like a full ayahuasca journey or some other psychedelic experience, it can kind of be this jarring thing where it kind of hits you karate chop, and then you're like, wow, okay, hypertherapy, right? So, and then there's many other things. And I don't expect someone to be a mirror of me, but just to be seen. I feel like I get packaged really quickly into, by the people that hate me on YouTube, because I get those comments, I get packaged as a super privileged white woman trans woman who hasn't had any conflict or faced any doubt or anything like that. And first of all, I'm not white, I am mixed race. So I also feel very alone in that, because there's no one out there that's mixed. But like, what race are you also? Like, do you feel like the racial experience of being trans can also make you feel a little alone, even when connecting with the trans community? So I get that, and no one knows about the struggles of like alcoholism and being an immigrant and being mixed race, my anxiety, like all of these things. Like, I had a troubled childhood, and growing up, it was really hard for me, but I've found my way through that, and so has the rest of my family. And I don't talk about that, but there's a piece of something that people see me as. And then there's this, I don't know why I'm talking about this. Let me get back to loneliness. I just basically feel unseen, and I feel lonely because of that. And like, don't you want to be seen? Don't you want to be felt like you have that other person that can acknowledge you as who you are? Even if they aren't exactly who you are, they can just understand and work with it. I think this is like this classic aspect of being human. We're social creatures, and we want to be embraced in who we are. And the only thing that I have really found to counterbalance this is to go super hard in my social time, to go out there and try and meet as many people as possible, and work with my coach to really help me realize that you are a rare and special person. There's not a lot of people out there like you. And so to find people at your level where you are, you need to kind of put a flag down, take a stand, and try and attract those people by kind of broadcasting yourself. So I'm thinking about starting a group, starting a kind of like a group of people that I feel like are at my level and are willing to kind of play this game in the way that realize they're playing the game, you know, and that there are many games, and to be seen on this level. So that's kind of like a strategy that I have. But the other one is really just kind of focusing on this orb that I touched on earlier, this orb, and just letting it be, letting the struggle just exist. I don't know what you're struggling with, but when you recall that struggle, can you recall your experience with the struggle? How do you struggle with the struggle? What's your relationship with that? Because for me, when the struggle comes up, I'm trying to get rid of that struggle. I'm trying to push it away or resolve it or fight it or work with that. And that creates a lot of energy use. And I've stopped fighting it. I just sink into it. I let it be, and I wait for it to pass. All things are temporary. It's a Buddhist thing. It's a way of being able to move through your human experience. You're not perfect. I'm not perfect. None of us are perfect. And to try and hold ourselves to this idea that we can't feel lonely, or that it's wrong or bad of us to feel lonely, that can make us feel more lonely. That can make you feel more lonely. That can make me feel more lonely. So just sitting with it, letting know that time shall pass, and reaching out to people and saying, hey, I feel lonely, has been sort of a solution. Let me know how this has been helpful for you, because sometimes I just do these random explorations where we just go and we see things and I don't really know where we're going to end up. But this is where we've ended up today. Thank you to my patrons for supporting me. If you'd like to support me, hit that link. I have this tier called the Kung Fu tier, where I'm teaching inner Kung Fu. It's meditation, mindfulness practices, and kind of an experimental program to creating and selling something much bigger. So if you'd like to be a part of that, please join the Patreon program. And if you haven't, check out my book. It's out there. Love you. As always, I'm sending you an energetic hug and something to be sort of like a gift on your way of processing and alchemizing who you are. I hope you are well, and blessings to you. Bye.